Be still and know that I am God. This is in Psalms 46:10, and this is the verse of this year, specifically in my life. Last year, I went through a lot of stuff and it was very chaotic, and life was always moving. And this year, I feel like God told me to be still and know that He is God. And to be honest, it's been quite challenging. It's been challenging to be able to be still because it's something that I'm not accustomed to. Throughout my whole childhood, I've moved dozens of times. I went to multiple elementary schools, multiple middle schools, multiple high schools, and my life has never been stable until now. And I feel like God was telling me that the reason right now that I feel so uncomfortable in my season is because it's something that I'm not used to. And it's actually quite sad, like thinking about it, thinking about why I'm struggling so much to be still in this moment. Because through my whole life, I've tried to do a lot. I try to do more. I try to get recognition. I recently did Lent for the first time, and during that time, I let go of all social medias. And it felt really weird at first to not be able to put stuff out there, the stuff that I was doing, the things that I was part of. And I really had to think to myself, what exactly am I looking for? What is the rush to do things? What is the rush to do new things? Why do I always feel like I need to jump from one thing to the other? And I realized that I was looking for recognition, that since my childhood, I've always tried to be recognized through my work, recognized through my grades, to be recognized that I am capable, that I am worthy. And I feel like God is telling me right now, you don't need to do a whole list of to do things for your whole day to feel like you're doing something. Because to be honest, I feel guilty at times when I'm resting. Like even before this video, I cleaned my house, I reorganized stuff, and at once I had to stop myself, like, okay, take one thing at a time. I've been pushing back on making this video because it is my first video where I'm talking about my faith here in this channel. And I feel like God is reminding me, only when you are still can you see me work in your life. There's many times where I feel like I purposely distract myself on my phone, trying to do all these different things, trying to make myself feel busy, because feeling busy makes me feel that I'm worthy. And I feel like God is reminding me that my worthiness doesn't come from all the things that I can do, despite of the capability that I'm able to do them, but is knowing that my worth comes from God. And I know that this video is pretty short, but I just wanted to talk about being still and knowing that He is God. I recently saw a YouTube video of a guy that was talking about how before you know God in this verse, it tells you to be still. Many of us can jump from one thing to the other, but being still is so hard, mostly in this time when we're always rushing for the next thing, rushing for something new to do. And I remember telling my husband where I told him, I feel like we need to do something new. I feel like we should move to a new apartment. I feel like we should do all these things. I feel like we haven't done anything. And then he reminded me, what are you talking about? We started serving at this church. We became members at the church at the beginning of the year. We're becoming more involved. And that's when I realized that my definition of doing new was different than the definition of what God means new. For God, there's times in our lives that we need to be stable, that we need to be still, that despite of the things that are going around us, we know that He is God. We know that He will make whatever needs to be made possible, that we don't need to do His work, like His work that He's trying to do for us, that He is more than capable to do the stuff. And I'm reading this book called What About Me? And it really resonates with my stage of life right now, where there's been many times where I have justified the things that I've done, or I try to put self-pity of myself or why I don't do things. I am more than capable of doing the things that God calls me to do. But sometimes I'm just afraid and anxious. And this video is one of those things where God has told me it's time for you to actually start using your talents to use and to stop trying to do every other thing instead of doing what I'm doing. So today I put this Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. Remind yourself today, in what areas of your life are you struggling to be still? Or do you feel guilty when it comes to not being busy and actually taking time for yourself? It's okay to take care of yourself, not to a point that it becomes your identity, but we also need to be able to be good with ourselves before we're able to help others in our life. How can a burnt out Christian help those around them when they're not willing to be still themselves? So may God bless you, and hopefully this video is something that is a blessing for you.